Hi, this is a video about fixing my SH-101. I've made a lot of videos about synths, the synths that I have, and the 101 is the only video that I haven't done, and unfortunately it comes in at a bad time when I turned it on 3 days ago and 3 of the keys weren't working, which kind of ruined my day. So how do you fix something like this? Well, first of all, the best thing to do is to go online and have a look, see if anybody's had similar issues, and then you can kind of just take yourself through it if you do find somebody with a similar issue. The other thing to do is obviously go to synthesizer forums, vintagesynth.com. Their forum's quite good, and just ask people. But when you do, please claim that you are a noob so they don't rip the piss out of you. If you already claim it, then you don't have to worry about that stuff. Okay, so this is the back of the 101. I did find some solutions on the web, so I started going with those. Basically, with the 101, there's loads of screws on the back. Unscrew all of them. I am a novice to this sort of thing, but I have done bits and bobs here and there, and I always know that when you unscrew things, occasionally you hear a clunk and you don't know where that clunk came from and how to put it back. But this is my favourite synth, not just because of the way it sounds, but because of the way it's built now that I've had a look at it. So I took all the screws out, and that's what it looks like inside. So the first thing that you want to do is just leave it like that. Plug it in, turn it on, test the keys and wiggle these cables here that are attached to the keyboard PCB, and then just gently wiggle them on the other circuit board, or the synth board as it's called. Just to kind of really check the connections with those ones first before you go any further, because you may just find it's a problem there. Unfortunately that wasn't the problem for me, so I had to dig a little deeper. The rest of the screws needed taking out, and I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one down here had a cable to the bender. I think that's an earth cable, but I don't know these sorts of things. I'm not an electrician. The only thing I've really done in the past is I've built a few computers and I know how to solder. That's about it. So the rest of it was taken through some help. I found a guy online, I don't want to mention his name in case more noobs get in contact with him, but he gave me kind of a really good help just to let me know what I should and shouldn't be doing. When you do unscrew bits and bobs, in my experience it's always a good idea to separate the different screws so that you're not having to try and find exactly the right screw for the right hole when you're putting it all back together. And make a few notes. For example, I made a note to remember to screw this earth thing back on. These two things here are just to screw this on, so you don't need to take those out. Okay, so once I'd unscrewed all that, obviously the best place to look if you've got 3 keys not working is on the keyboard PCB, which is this green thing here with all the diodes. What I then did after I'd screwed it out was gently take it out, like so. It's really well built, so the main thing to remember is if something is not working, if it's not pulling out properly, then it's have a good quick look. Don't force anything on this synth because it doesn't need to be forced. Right, so as you can see on this board I've got 2 keys left because I just wanted to show you how to take the keys out. The first thing that you need to do, unfortunately, is to take off this plastic strip which fits on the back here, which stops the keys from coming out of these little gaps here. I haven't put the synth back together yet, so I don't quite know how I'm going to stick that back, but we'll see. There are little springs on the attached to the key. What I did was get a screwdriver, and I just, just kind of moved it, so I just unclipped it like that. And then once you've removed that little plastic bit, you can just slide the keys out. The black and the white ones are connected together, as you can see. That this black one isn't going to go anywhere without the white one being moved. So the black and the white ones, especially these two, have to be moved out together. So take the springs off them first and then unclip them. When you're putting the springs back on, I found it best if I can just show you with one of the springs. Let's see, here's my bag of springs that I've separated. Let's see if I can get this for you. It's not really going to focus very well. But to unclip them, I just put in the screwdriver there and just unclipped it. And the best way to put it back on, I found, was to put the screwdriver in the middle of the spring as a lever, because if you're putting the screwdriver in the hole and trying to put it over, obviously that's not going to work. But yeah, so put a flathead screwdriver in the middle there. Clip the clip on first, and then put the screwdriver in and pull it apart and hook it over to the little piece, the little knobbly bit on the top of the key. Right, so I've taken off all the keys. Then what did I do? I checked what's known as the traces or the tracks for any grime. It's these little strips, little green strips here, and it was pretty mucky, because obviously the dust is going to get in between these keys here, because they're played, and over 20 odd years it's going to get pretty mucky. So I cleaned it all up. I used a cotton bud. Now, like I say, I'm no electrician, so if anybody wants to put any comments saying you shouldn't be doing some of the things that you're saying, yeah, put them down in the comment and I'll add them to the video for things not to do. So I did find a particularly big sticky bit of grime on one of these traces. I removed that, put the keyboard back without any of the keys, tested all the rubber bits with a little screwdriver. I did that. I poked the screwdriver through the bottom when the PCB was put back, just so that I wasn't really touching anything else, and I just kind of like pressed them with the flat bit of the screwdriver. Still didn't work. So then what I was advised to do, if I just gently put this somewhere where it's not going to touch anything else, was to get one of these. This is a multimeter, and to then test each connection, each bit of solder, to the start of the solder trace to the end of the solder trace, just to make sure that they're all functioning as they should. On the get a multimeter that has a continuity.